This is Mark Whitten.
This is Adam MacArthur.
This is Ann Yatko.
This is Molly Chung.
Hey everybody, this is Michael Yurchak.
This is Daquan Wilshire.
This is Lexi Nieto.
This is Rico Fajardo, and you're watching.
And you're listening to Spoiler Force Podcast. Set your heart ablaze.
All right, so this is episode 178 of Spoiler Force Podcast. My name is Ricky, and thank you for tuning in. So this week's guest, I have my cousin Art By Kouki, Michael, back on the show. We are going to talk about the Anime Frontier 2023 experience. This was back around December 8th through 10th of 2023. This was like what I haven't done press in a while, so I think this was the last time I did press for 2023. And I gotta say, man, like everything we did this weekend was probably one of the most memorable cons we've been to together. Like, because most of the time it's either you or Bobby that's helping me. So this is one that like I'll always remember because of not just like the event, but the staff. And shout out to Evie and Holland for helping the press, not just us, but the other press outlets when it came to like interviewing guests, constant communication through emails and giving us updates, stuff like that, and an interview or appointment times and stuff like that. So thank you guys for being so helpful and so accommodating to us during this weekend. But I guess we can start off with actually, before we do start, I just want to share this because I have it on my desk. I got the new Chili Beans album. It comes with the DVD and I believe the Blu-ray or DVD, one of the two. So it's a lot bigger than the last one because I think I bought their first album when I was still rooming with you, and now I have this one. And Welcome to My Castle by Chili Beans. So go check them out. Shameless plug.
Part of me wants to, because I just bought so Hoshimachi Suisei, she did a kind of like a collaboration with, I think I told you about it, with Taku Inoue, who's like, he produced music for Tekken and all that.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, is this that VTuber that you've been listening to? Is that who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's
okay.
a Japanese Hololive VTuber, but I actually just got her album in the mail too. And
nice.
It came with a whole bunch. So the excitement that you have for that, it's the same thing I have for that. It's in I get it, but it's in the other room. So.
It's all right. Yeah, just hopefully Chili Beans or their management team sees this one day and like, oh yeah, he's been following us since forever.
fingers crossed.
But no, back to Anime Frontier, man. Friday, we went we went all 3 days, but surprisingly like how early we went all 3 days too. Oh my god, like we spent pretty much all day Friday and all day Saturday there.
and to like further like emphasize on how well we were treated, because like we weren't like constantly like trying to chase the people of interest that we wanted to talk to. Because we had those set times. It's not like usually it's like it's you looking at your phone. Okay, they're there right now. Let's go.
Yeah,
and we're just bustling on the floor. But again, the staff did an amazing job coordinating everything. It's thanks to them that we had the energy to go all 3 days and not be like exhausted.
I know. You've seen me at cons, dude. Like I get like
that's
super frustrated.
Like,
I get like cranky as shit.
I have to deal with you. It's like because number one, like I'm trying to like be positive around you because I know how you get. You're like you want to go, you want to get the job done, and then you want to leave. And normally it's me like, okay, it's all right, cool. They'll be back. We'll find. Don't worry. But this time it's like you were actually in a good mood. So
yeah, no, honestly, again, shout out to the press staff and Evie and Holland Collective. Like what was cool though about I could say this. What was cool about being pressed for this event was that we had our own like press room or like lounging area just for press. which I've never experienced that before. This was the first, like, they were like, oh yeah, just meet in the press room, and we'll get you your badges, or if you're tired, you can just sit out here and wait, or come here and eat and grab your food and come here and eat. Like, we didn't have to like fight for space or find places to sit of all things. Like the last few cons we went to, we had to like sit on the fucking rails and shit. Like,
There's tables and water. Free
yeah.
water.
Yes. And that is already a plus. Like the fact that we got water. So
it's crazy how like little something like that goes a long ways. Because normally it's like, okay, gotta buy a $4 bottle of water or something.
Yeah. So that was super accommodating. Just like small things like that. And then they had candy for us, like free candy. Like I ate so much sweet tarts that weekend, dude. Like I don't even eat candy like that. But I was just taking the sweet tarts. I was like, I gotta stay like awake, or I gotta, just something to keep me going. That way, like I'm not so focused on like, oh yeah, I didn't eat yet, So I had that like in my hand most of the time, or in my pocket most of the time. But yeah, on Friday we got our stuff and we got our badges. I'm so glad we did get pressed this year, because like imagine waiting in that line to get like I guess not so much verified, but like to just pick up your badges, or to like wait in line to get your props checked and on that. Like I'm so glad we got to skip all that. Like yes,
even like I think, was it the last day that we were able to get into the floor before it was last day, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because Friday and Saturday we got there right when they opened, and then Sunday we got there a little bit earlier than we should have, because I think I forgot what. Oh, I think it was like on Sunday one of our interviews got pushed or something like that. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Either that or like something got pushed, and then but yeah, we got there early and we were able to walk the floor as if we were like exhibitors or.
Full disclosure, we weren't sure if we were allowed to or not.
We did ask.
We asked, and they said they weren't sure, and said it's okay, no problem. We'll just wait. And as we were walking away, one of the doormen said, "No, you know what? It's cool. Let us in." And for that, if we weren't supposed to, we apologize.
Yeah.
But it was pretty neat. Being able to, I guess, enjoy some of the perks of being of press. And again, how well we were treated and everything. So
yeah. Again, if we weren't allowed to, then oops. But
apologies.
Yeah,
but we asked.
Yeah, we did ask the security and whoever was watching the door. And like everyone was still. We were like, I think if anything, we were only like 30 minutes early. Not even
30. It was like 10 minutes early.
Yeah, because like we got to just catch up with some of our artist friends, and then by the time we knew it, it was like people were walking in already. So it wasn't hopefully like that discrepancy isn't too bad. It's not like we got there an hour early, and waited. No, it was cool. Like, so back to Friday, like let's see, the first interview I did was with Rico Fajardo. So that experience was really cool, because that was a one-on-one interview with him, and honestly it felt like we were just picking back up on the podcast or something, like, because he recognized me right away. He's like, hey, how you doing, Spoiler First, and so we got to just like talk and catch up, and I'm pretty, at this point of the recording of this episode, I'm done editing the episode. I'm just like playing around with the program that I'm using to see if I can change the video color, try to touch up on video coloring editing. But I think it's because I'm using the free one, so I don't think I have access to that. So I'm just gonna have to export it and then upload it. But I worked on captions all like for almost 2 weeks straight, just editing captions and all that nonsense. And by far, this is the most I've had to edit for a 20-minute video. And I still have the Miley Flanagan one and Steve Bloom one I have to edit. So that's going to be a lot longer than I anticipated. But yeah, meeting Rico Fajardo, interviewing him, and then on what else? And then I think Steve Bloom was also on that Friday. Yeah, Steve Bloom was also Friday that we got to interview him, because Saturday we did like the Miley Flanagan interview, and then by the time we got to his line, it was like so packed. So we were
Right.
just
That's right.
we were
That's
just like
right.
wait till Sunday to meet Steve Blum, which was crazy, man. Like oh my god, dude. And we went to like panels and all that too. I don't recall if we went to panels on Friday. No, we went to Steve Bloom's panel on
Steve
Friday.
Blooms, yeah.
Yeah, we went to his panel on Friday, and then we
That's
did
right,
the
because the interview, the press interview was
was right
after
after.
the
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
So that was pretty cool though. Like hearing Steve Bloom in person, like his speaking voice is literally Tom from Toonami.
Yeah.
Um, it was also cool to kind of just hear his like his story, and like he got to talk about just how he got into the business, and then also um just like I think what really stuck out to me was like Honey was talking about how he did a bunch of odd jobs to keep his expensive hobby going. Like I think that's
Yeah.
that's what a lot of nowadays with a lot of content creators trying to pursue whatever this is, like this career, or trying to make money from what they like. It was really I guess motivational hearing it from him of all people, because like he's been in the business for so long, and to think like he just did this, as like as he was working and all that stuff. He just had like experience in little things here and there, and then he just like built up his platform from there, and then now he's like doing was it Bloombox Studios, I think that's what it's called, where
Yeah.
he's like teaching courses and all that. But yeah, dude, like what did you think of Steve Bloom's like panel?
Number one, it was just crazy. His voice, because it's just like it's so iconic.
Yeah.
Tom from Toonami, and also Spike. Also, for those who play Valorant, Brimstone. Number one, it was just really cool and awesome because he's well known, and again, not to go too far down the rabbit hole, but like he is one of the reasons why dub is anywhere remotely as I feel like he set the standard for a lot of English dubs, just because how iconic it was in his role. So it was kind of like as soon as they announced his name, I was like, because we're just chill sitting there and all that, but as soon as they announced his name and he came out, I just felt the sudden urge to like to like cheer and all that. And then like you said, listening to his story, and how like it just kind of like it kind of found him. He didn't really go looking for the voice acting gig, and it even went into the question that when it got to me, the question that I had to ask was like about how he his struggle and like having to continue to work while he's pursuing this. And I feel like it really spoke to me, mainly in the regard that like as of now, for future me that might not be unemployed, I'm currently unemployed, and wanting to pursue art. And one of the things I don't want to do, and one of the things I felt was in my way when I was employed, is that if I find a job, like a full-time job, will I have time to still pour into my art business? And then, kind of things that he said is just like, if it's really what you want to do, then you'll, paraphrasing, he says like you'll make a way to do it if it's what you want to do. And I think it's encouraging to me, and I hope it encourages other people that like hey, if you have a full-time job and there's something you want to do, you'll make time for it. Granted, I know some people have kids, so and families, so with
it's not
respect to that.
If anything, it's not easy. Like he had to work like 3 jobs just to keep his acting career afloat.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like he quit. Like he said he was getting like he had a 6-figure job at one point, and he quit that, like just to pursue acting. So I think that's that's a big leap of faith right there to pursue like what you want to do, and especially in like whether it's the arts or acting or whatnot. It's to quit like a secure job like that to pursue something that will make you happy is a huge step. But Steve Bloom was freaking awesome, man. Just meeting him, like, dude, I was like, before meeting him on Sunday, I was just so bummed because like I was like, damn, I don't think I'll be able to meet this guy, because not only were we busy with press, like we were running around, um, or at least trying to take pictures of the event, but then like we were in panels, we were doing the press stuff, and then by the time we knew it, like we spent the whole day like doing what we had to do, and then there was very little time to like walk around the floor. Even like I think what was it, Friday or Saturday? We didn't even walk the floor.
Saturday we only went on the floor to go eat. That
Yeah. Saturday we didn't even walk the floor. Like Friday we walked the floor just to meet Jordan, or see Jordan, and meet Rie, Kiki Japan. We
Mhm.
saw Ying. Shout out to Ying Arts. Um, we saw Lucid Sky. Shout out to her, dude, like for making time to even talk to us for that long. Like
Yeah,
she was
that was
probably one of the highlights of the event, because like she literally, she had people coming in and out of her booth, and while catering to that word, with not catering is not the right word, but while doing transactions for her prints and all that, she still made effort to like have us in her conversation. Like she didn't just like
yeah.
blow us off. She knew that we were. I felt bad though. Were we like in the way though? Like I felt like, were we those awkward people that
We
stood there?
here's the thing. We are trying to hint to that, like, oh, hey, sorry if we're, in your way, like we'll try to cut the conversation down, but then she would like kind of egg the conversation on. So it was a very like fun conversation, because like I even got to ask her about art too, in which some of her processes and the iPad programs that she uses, and she was very helpful with all that. So very, very positive and encouraging person. And the conversation was like we were talking about anime, manga.
Spoilers. She had some hot takes, which I won't repeat. But it was funny though. And then I thought it was cool that she was very open to share with you like her techniques and stuff. Like I don't know
Oh
how it
yeah,
is in the artist stuff, but I know like
there
some content creators, like generally people who are in this creative stuff, like some people don't even want to share like what they know.
the more successful ones, and I'm not saying it's a recipe for success, but a lot of the successful ones, and it's also not to say that if you're like this and you're not successful, that's you're not successful. Everyone's successful in their own way, but part of being an artist is um kind of like gaining information, and then also part of that instilling that information is also, are you able to teach it? Like they say if you can teach someone how to draw or to do art, it means that you're able to do art more than someone who is not able to teach. Not completely to that regard. She has a lot of the characteristics. Like there's a lot of artists who that aren't afraid to teach. There's some who are kind of like kind of gatekeepy, like they won't tell
Yeah,
you
that's
the
the word I was
products that they
thinking of.
use.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
won't tell you how they do this or show you the process, because they're kind of like, I had to figure this out for myself, so I'm not going to show you. In which, nothing against those people, you do you, but I learned a lot of my techniques and stylization that I learned from watching some of my favorite artists, and from that I was able to learn and grow as an artist. And the more you get back to that community, like she was helping me, the more you're kind of like being a positive light for art, and especially with art, and a bit of a tough nut that it is right now with AI. It's really us as artists, we really want to like pour into like, hey, keep drawing, keep learning how to draw. AI is
Yeah.
here, but just that shouldn't stop you from wanting to learn. Sorry.
Yeah,
Um,
AI sucks. Like, like okay, we'll just do a tangent here about AI. I don't think I don't think I really like addressed my thoughts on AI art. Like I'm against AI art, but then at the same time, like I'm not gonna lie, I do find the AI covers hilarious. Like when they do like the SpongeBob or Patrick ones or Cartman ones, like I can't help myself. Like that shit is hilarious. It's fucked up that they're using the actors' voices without their permission, but it's I don't know. I find it just hilarious because like you think of the character singing like Alicia Keys or something, or like Queen, and it just I don't know, like the comedic side of it. It just I find it funny. It's what it is.
well, I we can talk about this a little bit more like off 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 recording. But the some of the things that I do want to say is that, like, I do believe, especially because I know that you have voice actors on. I do believe that voice actors do need better protection
Yes.
from AI because
And Steve Bloom talked about this too.
yeah, um, and it's crazy because you wouldn't think that companies would do this. You want to think that that they care about the voice actors, but the truth is they don't. And he mentioned that in some of their contracts, if you don't have like an attorney read through it,
They own your
there
voice,
could
which is
be-
fucking crazy.
yeah, and then that pretty much is like a dead end for your career because like you can no longer use a voice in the like of the character that you voiced in. I think that's very very,
That I
very
never knew.
intrusive.
Like, yeah, I never knew any of that until like we went to the Steve Bloom panel and he was talking about that. Like
Yeah.
how him and like the group of actors. Like I think it was like he was talking about just because the strike's already over, I believe. But like he was talking about like the experience of going through that and having like these
Well, the strike ended with favors for artists, but it left like nothing
For voice actors.
for voice actors.
Yeah.
Artists, actors, not artists. I said
Yeah.
artists for actors, but not voice actors. Even though voice acting is acting in itself, it's they didn't fall under the umbrella of like protection that some of the actors got. But he
Yeah,
did give a lot of tips. I forgot what it was, but he said that there was a website you can go to get a kind of
think
like an
it's-
addendum.
I think he mentions it in the press interview that we did with them. So hopefully that video is done by the time this episode does. I think it's yeah, but he does talk about that, and I like I said, I didn't even know any of this. I just
Mhm.
this was the first time hearing it from someone who's experiencing this like in person. It's a lot different than when you see it on like Twitter, on Instagram, or like social media and stuff like that. So when you
Yeah.
hear them like talk about it in person, like it hits differently versus like everyone reposting or sharing. So it's
And that's kind of one of the things I've been because I know you share the AI stuff a lot, and I'm like, hey man, I get that
Yeah.
it's humorous, but like just know that like when you share it, you're also kind of like advocating for it in some way that could be unfavorable to some people in the industry.
yeah. I got
Um,
checked by some people because I shared this one AI cover of like Ed Sheeran singing a Thai song. And it sounded so freaking legit. Like I'm not gonna lie, it sounded pretty cool to have.
I mean, as okay, I'm torn because I'm a tech enthusiast. I love seeing technology come about in really creative ways, but at the same time, I'm just like, there's a lot of implication here of like
Yeah.
of IP usage and
Yes.
and and blatantly theft.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There is there is a place for AI. I just don't think that I think it needs its own category to where like it wouldn't intrude, but it's really hard to draw that line. It's always going to be blurred. Where it wouldn't intrude on the ones who still, like you should say, for art, like it wouldn't intrude on the actual art. But the
Yeah.
problem is just that like the learning algorithm already has a bunch of stolen artwork in it. So when it creates art, it's gonna go off of what it already knows, which is
Yeah.
other
That's
people's
that's
art.
what it is. It's not original, so it's hard to find that fine line of separating it because you're using every pieces of everyone else's
Well,
stuff that's already like done versus like
even at that, you can make the argument that like a lot of people make this argument too. It's like, oh, it's all art is derivative. True, but part of that art process is the logical decision of choosing which style you want to do, the emotion that you want to represent, the whole complete movement of the piece, and like your decision to use what art style here and there. But it's from your own like learning of how to articulate that skill, and that's how you're able to make it good. But what AI art does is it really just kind of like copy pastes
Yeah.
random elements onto a canvas. So
But to move on from AI,
sorry, yeah, I can,
to move on from AI, Let's see. So we did the Steve Bloom stuff. I think we pretty much ended the day off with like the Steve Bloom. Um, because I remember like on Friday we ate and then we left. So because like Friday was a short day, they ended at like 7, so we didn't even stay that long.
Yeah.
And then Saturday was the big day. We had the Miley Flanagan press interview in the morning, so we had to get there
Mhm.
early. And shout out to Miley Flanagan for being so nice to us about getting an autograph. I don't know if you got one, but I did. Uh, let me just
Oh, I
get
wasn't
this.
able to. Did,
Yeah.
did you because you went in you
Yeah.
got in line with her, right?
Yeah, I got this on Sunday, but then on Saturday she was like, "Yeah, just come by the booth and I'll hook you up with the free autograph." So she hooked me
Yeah.
up with the autograph right here. She was right next to Steve Bloom's table too, so that's what really helped. Um, but she was really nice to do that and give that to us. And then we got to like just we went to what other panels did we? You went to the Hollow Live panel on
Yeah.
Saturday. How was that like?
It was good. It was fun. It was Mori Calliope and Kiara Takanashi. They are both Hololive English VTubers. And kind of like one of the they're like the first generation of Hololive English VTubers. And Mori is trying to she's from Texas. She doesn't disclose where for obvious reasons. But it's pretty cool to see her like kind of interact with the Texas crowd, kind of like embracing her Texas roots and all that. And they did kind of like they showed a bunch of like pictures of Fort Worth and different. I'm glad some people this was kind of put out there a little bit. I mean, we're all from Texas, but like the distinction between Fort Worth and Dallas, and they didn't talk about it, but like Fort
Isn't
Worth.
I'm not a real Texan, but isn't there like beef on that? Like when people say they're from
There's a
which city?
rivalry because
Yeah.
people from Fort Worth, like, it's because imagine you live in Fort Worth, right? And you tell people like, oh, you like, oh, hey, I'm from Texas. Oh, where at? Fort Worth. Oh, where's that? It's like, oh, it's kind of in the DFW metroplex. It's like, oh, so you're from Dallas? Like, no, like no.
Yeah,
And
I
they
guess because it's kind of
probably
like
hate that.
how Detroit is. Like how there's the Metro Detroit area, and then there's the city of Detroit, and
Yeah,
it's like two completely different things. So like when I
yeah.
say like I'm from East Point, that's where I'm from originally. Like, oh, where's East Point at? I'm like, it's like it's a few miles north of Detroit. Like, so you live in Detroit? Like, no, not downtown. I'm in the
No.
suburbs. I'm in the suburbs. So
But the thing is, like, a lot of people, because we call it DFW, Dallas Fort Worth area, but to outsiders, this whole area is Dallas. And
Yeah.
because Fort Worth it's nice, it's very nice. It's I don't want to say about the same size as Dallas, but it has its own downtown. It has its own like, you know, uptown, downtown. It has its own city and highways and all that. So
make it seem like it's another country.
they're not another country, but they are a country over there. That's one thing about Fort Worth, though. Is that,
It's like an Attack on Titan. Like you make it seem like Dallas is Paradise Island, while Fort Worth is is Marley. Like over the
yeah. To
oh man, but okay, but the Hollow Live
No,
people, they were
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about like Fort Worth,
To wrap
right?
it up, they just kind of like showed pictures of Fort Worth and mentioned where it's at, and they showed pictures of the water gardens, which is really cool. Like from a like kind of like a higher up, picture of it, which you wouldn't really be able to see on foot there. But they did that, and they finished off by doing some karaoke of their own songs. Really cool. It was really fun. I was kind of losing my voice a little bit from cheering because they did they're trying to see which side is the left side or the right side. Are they which one's more energetic? But my side lost. But I was screaming my head off cheering. So it was fun, really fun. Disclaimer, the latter months of this year I've recently started getting into Hololive, and it's really really funny and engaging. Like watching them play games and like interact with chat and sing and all that. So
Yeah, I think it's cool that this is like a whole new niche for fans to go see. Like I'm not big on the VTuber stuff, but I do share with you like those VTuber memes and stuff like that because like some of the stuff,
Fuamoko, yeah.
yeah, some of the stuff is funny.
Today.
Yeah, some of the stuff is pretty funny, so like I do enjoy that. I just never make the time to watch the entire thing. Maybe
It's
I'll get into it eventually, but
I'll tell you, it's kind of dangerous because once you find like a few things that you find funny, you find that there's like a metric ton of like other videos and material. Like the YouTube's like littered with a lot of clips that I've kind of been indulging in. Um, it's just like funny moments. It's
did you
genuinely
see
like entertaining.
did you go and did you see that Akuma, the VO Akuma?
Vox Akuma, no, I that one was so they weren't actually so Mori and Kiara weren't actually there, and I think that's why it wasn't a paid panel. I believe
Okay.
Vox Akuma was present there in V2, like physically there, and they used his VTuber model, I guess. It's kind of like how it was for when I went to see Suicide in New York.
So you think he was like in a separate room, like moving
Probably,
around,
yeah,
and
in a
then they were
separate
like
room
they were
recording.
just like streaming it, or like
I
putting it on like a screen.
that would be my guess, but it would probably be the same thing. Like only the people who went would know. I'm not too much into like Niji Sanji, which he's a part of. It's a different corporation, or different agency. But I know he's pretty big. So no, I didn't get to see him. I would have loved to, but it was paid, and I'm kind of short on the
I wonder if
cash department.
like another tangent here. I wonder for like for VTubers when you quote unquote meet them, like are you able to get autographs from them, or are they like, or do they hand out stuff that's already like pre-signed? Like because I know like try to keep that identity stuff like secret.
Oh yeah, that's a huge like anonymity is kind of like a huge, especially in because of like I can't say for all, but for like most of the big agencies, they're really big into anonymity because as soon as people lose that anonymity, when people find who they are, especially with the Japanese audience, like once they know what you look like, they kind of like lose interest because it's kind of like you
Like
you
Pandora's
breaking
box.
down the veil. Yeah, it's kind of like that. So
Like oh my god, like oh like yeah, you're human like us.
yeah, it's like no, we don't want your flesh to perform. We want the you have to be an anime person, only an anime person.
Let's
But
see. After because we went to the I think you went to the was the Hololive panel after we did the Naruto press, and then I'm losing my time frames here, but I think after that we went to was it the Chiwa Saito panel that was before or after the Hololive one?
that was before. That was
Oh,
earlier
okay.
on in the day.
Okay.
So yeah, because I remember no, it was right after that, right after Chiyo Saito's panel was Hololive because I was told because we were seating for Chiyo Saito, and I asked them, hey, are they clearing out the room before the Hololive panel? And they're like, yeah, they're gonna clear it out, so you have to leave. But I remember when we were leaving, people were still sitting, and then I left anyways to have these rushmen. I came back, and I went to the waiting room where I thought people were waiting for Hololive, and I was like, hey, is this the waiting room for Hololive? And like, oh no, they're already seated. And I walk in there, and they're like, nobody moved. I'm like, well, I got lied to.
Yeah, but yeah, the Chiba Saito panel was pretty cool too because like it was different seeing a Seiyu in person for the
It was
first time.
totally different. Yeah.
Like I never really thought much of it because like you see people at Expo go and see them, or like Anime NYC, see some seiyus and stuff like that. I mean, you had an opportunity to see some seiyus at Anime NYC, but but
I had an opportunity. I took it. I didn't make the lottery. That's pretty much what it was.
but I guess for shout out to Anime Frontier for this, man, because like we missed out last year's, so we didn't get to see like Flo, or I forgot if they had
Right.
some other Seiyu there or not, but like the Chiwa Saito's panel this year, this past event was freaking amazing. Like I said, like this is, or at least I guess this is the first time for you too, right, to see a Seiyu in person, like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So like dude, this was a whole new experience. Like I never thought in my lifetime that I'd see a Seiyu in person. Like it's always just like, you see them on YouTube or on Reels or Instagram Shorts and stuff like that. Like holy shit! Like it was just like, this is real life. Like you get to hear them talk, and I forgot her name, but her translator,
I forgot her name as well.
freaking amazing, dude. Like she kept up the same energy as Chiwa Saito did. She explained things thoroughly and clearly, and it was just so awesome to hear her like interact and like translate back and forth while everyone's asking questions during the panel and stuff like that. And then I think what the highlight of that panel was when people were asking Chiwa Saito to say lines. I thought that was like
Yeah.
probably the best part.
Man,
And
I'm like I'm not surprised, but I'm also like shaking my head because they all wanted to hear Tamamo from Fate. I'm like, no, like Hitagi from Monogatari, like that's because that was the last one, because everyone was I forgot who else they were asking
Jean.
for. Jean, yeah, from Genshin. So everyone was doing that and cheering. But when she gave lines from Shinjuku, because she did that Ara.
Yeah,
and then
dude,
crowd,
yeah.
the crowd lost it. I'm
Like,
like, this is why.
It was mostly dudes, but yeah, even I lost it. When you hear, like, when she did that line, like Ara, it like, bro, it hit different. Like
Bro,
it just hit different.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm like, y'all are all fools. Y'all are all fools. You're like we might not even got the opportunity to hear her say some lines from Shinjuku.
Like,
No,
let
that
alone
was
something
definitely a highlight.
like something iconic like that. Like, because all the degenerates on like games and anime, like everyone,
The
yeah,
Fate franchise, yeah.
like everyone knows that. So like to hear her say that and then to hear it in person, like was just freaking cool. So like it just, I don't know, man. Like seiyus are just built different. Like I just got done talking with Kellen Goff, the voice of Overhaul from My Hero Academia, and like
Mhm.
we discussed like oh, this episode will drop before that, but I can say that we talked about like the differences between seiyus and actors here in the States. And so like it's not I don't want to say it's a skill level difference, but it's a different way of working the mic and like
Mhm.
doing the voices and acting. Like it's just like, the best analogy is just like it's Muay Thai and boxing. Like it's still combat sports, but it's two different arts, and it's crazy to see how different they are and how they do it. And it just,
Oh yeah.
to see her do that at the panel, like just to read lines and like how easily she was to switch like that to the character that she was voicing was freaking phenomenal.
I mean, it's really like goes to show that, like, hey, voice actors are actors too. Like they have to, you know, especially when recording, like because obviously they're not doing everything in, the whole episode in one take, or the whole, shot in one take. They have to be able to like switch their mood on the dime. That's acting. Voice actors are actors.
Yes.
So
And then let's see, what else did we do Saturday? I think that was pretty much it after Saturday, because
mhm.
yeah, I think that was pretty much Saturday, because like we didn't get to walk the floor. We were so busy doing press. Oh no, at the end of the day Saturday we met Lexi Nieto from the voice of Tomo from Tomo-chan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was Saturday. Yeah.
Because you went to the you. It's funny. We were in the panel for Steve Bloom, and you saw her, and you're like, let's.
Yeah, that's
let's
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
I was trying to figure like who are you trying to find? And then yeah, it dawned on me like, oh, she was on your show.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Lexi. It was just really cool to finally meet her in person after speaking with her like back in March about Tomo-chan when the season first dropped, or like when the show first dropped. I it was hard not to geek out because like not only did I like her performance in Tomo-chan, but like again to have a guest on the show and then to finally see them in person, it hits very differently. So we were trying to find her on Friday during the Steve Bloom panel, and then because she was working so much, I couldn't catch her. She already went backstage, and then
Yeah, because we went around, like, we went up to the front and back to the back of the room. We circled all around trying to find her.
yeah, and we
So-
couldn't. And then Saturday night, the last thing we did on Saturday was go to the Rico Fajardo panel, and then that was a pretty fun panel too. But you were pretty exhausted by that time. You left.
Well,
Um,
I sat through most of it. It was pretty interesting. You know, a lot of the topics were My Hero, and I'm just like, you know, means nothing because I haven't seen it. And also I'm trying not to like spoil anything for myself for when I actually do get around to watching it. But it was also like very warm in the room, so I was
yes,
like,
it was. It was.
I
It was very warm.
had to step out and get some fresh air. But it sounded like it was really good.
It was good. Like Rico is incredibly interactive when it comes to his fans, which is why I liked talking to him and interviewing him for the podcast because
Mhm.
it doesn't feel like I'm asking him questions about like I'm not. It doesn't feel like I'm doing like a Q&A with him. I feel like I'm just talking with him and just conversing. So like him and Lexi are like very similar in that aspect. And so Lexi Lexi saw I went early to sit in like the first 3 rows or something like that. She saw me right away, so she didn't say much until after the panel was done. She's like, "Oh my god, it's you, Ricky! Like, holy shit!" Like, she didn't say holy shit, but she's like, "It's you. I recognize you right away. I didn't want to like point you out. So how you been? We were catching up, and then like and then fans came up. I'll just say this, like, I'm just glad like she was patient enough to deal with the fans. Me personally, I was just like, dude, like people were pretty rude. Like I was in mid conversation right there, and they just like all cut in front of me. So I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna wait. And so we literally waited like 5 to 10 minutes just to finally like catch up with her for like a few minutes and take pictures. But again, thank you,
got-
Lexi. Oh, go ahead.
I guess you got to remember that these are
Kids, I know.
fans and they might not have a lot of social skills, so they probably had no idea what they were doing. They just wanted to get in and meet her.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's just like social cues, man. Just know like if she's talking to someone, wait your turn.
some people just
Like,
don't have any.
I know, man. Just like okay, I don't want to like complain, but man, dude, like that's the one thing I hate about conventions, bro. Like it's like now that we've been going to more
non-existent.
like we've been going to more conventions now, and especially doing press, like we're able to meet certain people just because like the podcast or hell, just because of the perks of being press, like we were able to talk to them just for a few minutes. And like because I think that kind of sucks because like because people see us do that, they feel like they're obligated to do that to the host or the panelist or whatever. So if it my apologies if I made it seem like it was that easy just to go and talk, but then I'm glad that Lexi was very patient and she waited. She was very, very positive and very, very nice about it. And so she was like handing out stickers. She handed out Tomo-chan stickers. So shit. I really wanted the print of her and Rico doing the Tomo-chan is a girl or promotional artwork. But then I don't think she had any, or I think that was only if you saw them at a con when they're at the tables. But this is the Tomo-chan stickers that she gave me. So really cool. Absolutely love the show. If you've not watched Tomo-chan as a girl, please do it. It's hilarious. It's funny. Rico and Lexi do a very great job. Caitlin Glass did such a great job being a director and casting. But yes, you can watch it in sub or dub because I think sub is also Rie Takahashi who voices Tomo. So definitely do both.
And then there was the sorry.
Sally Amaki.
Yeah,
Yes.
she is
both.
a Japanese voice actor who also speaks English, and she does both voices in English dub and Japanese.
Yeah,
which
for
is
Carol.
really awesome.
Yeah. So that was one thing that was pretty cool too. Like when I talked to Rico about like that, I didn't talk to him about Sally. I talked to him about him working with Lexi. But then I think in the Rico panel, Rico talked about like working with Sally Amaki, and when he went to Japan, how she brought him up on stage to.
I do
talk.
remember hearing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and like all the Japanese attendees were like, "Who is he? We don't know who he is." And then she's like, "Oh, this is the English voice of Junichiro from Tomo-chan." And then they all cheered like, "Holy crap!" you know?
Yeah, because at first they're all like, who the heck is this?
Yeah, but that was a great panel to end things off of, and like again to end the Saturday meeting Lexi was perfect. And then Sunday, to kind of backtrack, like Sunday we got to go in like 10 minutes early, to just walk around Artist Alley. And I mean, since we're on the topic of Artist Alley again, I do want to share some of the stuff I have, and you have your stuff too, right? So,
Yeah.
I'll
A few
share.
pieces.
We'll just go back and forth. So I'll share some pieces first, and then you can share yours. And then, so
Okay.
I got these from Xerox, right? Your friend?
Zero Press. Yeah.
Zero Press. I don't know why I thought
Really
it was Xerox.
Really
But the
great artist.
Kashimo and the Rengoku prints here. Kachimo caught my eye because he's from JJK. No spoilers, but me and Zero Press were talking spoilers in front of Michael.
I keep telling you, man, you can't say no spoilers. Like I won't. Like it's just the word when you bring that up. It's just like now your radar is on. Like now I need to know what I don't need to listen to, but at the same time you're listening, and it just ends up spoiling. I had to walk away while you guys were talking about that.
No, because like she was so cool about it too. She's like, because I saw Kashimo and I was like, oh my god, you drew Kashimo. What did you think of him in the manga? And then she started talking, and then we just like went off to this whole tangent. Like, oh shit, Michael, oh spoilers. but like we're already mid conversation when we tell you the alarm. And then of course the Rengoku one I couldn't help. I love the texture on this one.
I really
so good.
Can you bring it closer? Because there's so much. Like as an artist, there's so many like techniques that she adds and incorporates into her art that really makes it stand out. And on top of that, like I have one verse too that I'll show off, but she makes her prints feel very premium. She actually puts a layer of clear coat over over the print itself. Not only does it like protect it from scratches or anything like that, it won't
From
damage,
bending
but it also but it also gives it a very nice glossy finish, which actually helps her colors pop, and which she uses a lot of. So shout out to Zero Press. Really great artist.
I should have her on the show so we can talk about JJK. But yeah, and then show what you got.
Oh yeah, this is from Zero Press also. This is honestly one of my most favorite experiences watching an anime. Not the it's up there with my best, but it's a Bochi from Ranking of Kings. I'm trying not to get so much reflection. It's that glossy finish.
Yeah.
But Bochi and Kage, Ranking of Kings, such a good anime if you haven't seen it.
I love the lighting she did on that, like especially at the campfire, and then like at the top with the night sky and the stars. Like it's so freaking good.
It's again like the tone and the feel that she's able to get with the ambient lighting, and it's because this is one style, and then they have yours, which is like a lot more like kind of like poppy and actiony, and her use of techniques like halftones and filters that she puts on top of her finished pieces. Really great. Huge fan of her work.
So the next one here, we didn't get to see Ying on Sunday. Like I think she left early, but I did buy. See, I don't want to take all of them out, but I'll show this one first. I got this one on Saturday, another Rengoku piece, because it's Rengoku and I have to buy one. This is just the medium size print. Like she had large ones, which I wish I had more money for. I would have gotten either this one in a large print or this other one. Oh shit. Or my favorite one that she has, the Utah one in a large print. Like this one is freaking amazing. I love Utah. And for those of you who watch JJK season 2, you know what happens in season 2. And then
no spoilers, right? Yeah, no spoilers, right?
And then on the backside I have Aki from Chainsaw Man with the Fox Devil. Freaking cool.
That's really dope.
Oh, and I think the middle one here is
It's the
the Zhongli one.
Zhongli. Yeah.
Yeah, this is my This is my second favorite one. If I can take it out here, just to briefly show you guys the Zhongli one with the dragon.
Yeah. Super dope.
Yeah.
Rex Lapis.
The fact that Ying like does watercolor and then she scans it and it turns into a print and still looks like this is, I think it's pretty impressive. Like,
And that's something that I like. I wish a lot of and I'm hoping that they do this because I know Ray. She didn't start off doing this when we first met her. Ray of Sunshine. When I first met her, she was just selling her actual canvases. I'm like, I think I wasn't the one who told her, but I think she later on realized that she could make scans of them and sell the prints for a lower price, and then she can sell her originals for a higher price. And if you're a traditional artist listening to this, you're not doing that, please do that if you're trying to merchandise, because smaller ticketed items do really well, and you can stretch your work a lot more.
yeah, and that's more of a common thing now too. Like artists are realizing that because there's so many more conventions now, they can't sell their inventory as quickly as they can. So like you have to have more options. You have to have pins, stickers, smaller prints and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Did you have any Lucid Sky art to show?
I did. I wanted to show that off last though.
Okay.
But I do want to give a shout out to, I think it was Ying's booth, because I think one person ran out of the the film paper, the print bags and all that. And then I think because we went to go find Ying, and I think her helper was there, and he offered it to us. Is that right?
Oh yeah, because I had my prints. I had the Naruto print and the Steve Bloom print signed. Oh yeah, this my Steve Bloom one's right here, the Vincent one. Can't really see it, but signed by the helper for Ying's art. Saw me carrying it. He said, "Hey, let me give you one of the plastic bags so you don't ruin your print." So he was very nice about that. So that was pretty cool.
Quick shout out for that. Yeah.
And then we saw Ray of Sunshine. We saw Arrington Art, right? Is it
Arrington Art? Yeah.
Arrington Art.
They had a split booth. Yeah.
We saw them. We saw them all weekend. And then shout out to Jordan, dude. Jordan is
well, man.
Freaking crazy good. Like and he got a good spot too because his booth is right in front of Steve Bloom. So he got to see all that, and like his he was selling.
Like, even if you were in line for Steve Bloom, like his
you couldn't miss it.
Like front and center.
Yeah, you couldn't miss it. But like I think he was selling shirts and hoodies for the first time at this event, right?
Not the first time.
Oh no,
he did. He sold some apparel at one of the Anime Village ones at Asia Times Square.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was selling them there too. I think he sold out though, so he stocked up more. He has more different apparels, like different designs and all that.
I wanted
his duck one.
Yes, I wanted to mention that one, the duck one that I think he sold the original one that weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, he sold it. We were telling him like, dude, Jordan, get those prices up. Bump those prices up, man.
I mean, like okay, again,
listening to this, Jordan, bump your prices up for your originals, man. Not you don't have to do that for the prints, but do that for your freaking originals.
We're not gonna tell you what to do. I know you need to sell stuff, and you set your prices and all that. We say that because that's how much we appreciate it. And how much.
Dude, he's good though,
like
man.
It.
Like that's the thing. Like,
and the thing is, I know how
good.
I know because since he does they're murals. They're not just. Let me get this straight. They're murals. Like the canvases that he works on, they're not small. They're not like a single printer paper size. They're like poster size murals that he does by hand. And I'm like, you put so much work into this. If you're listening to Jordan, man, hey, keep it up. Don't feel selfish by wanting to increase your prices, man. Just saying. For your originals, not for the originals. Yeah, but he's another artist on my radar that I gotta get on the show too.
Because I actually would like to talk to him about like his stuff, his
He's a
abstract art.
very he's a
Yeah.
very cool dude, man. I've had the pleasure of sharing the artist alley with him a couple times. Even when we went down to McAllen, Texas, he was down there too for Anime Fiesta. Spent you know it's really cool just because anytime I go up to him, I can just talk. We can just chit chat. Really cool dude. So,
Yeah. And like I like that. Like we just check up on each other too. Like when he sees you at your table, he'll come by, or vice versa.
Oh yeah.
We'll check up on him. So again, shout out to Jordan, man. You're really good.
Yeah. Straight.
What
dude.
what other what other pieces do you have? You said you had your Lucid Sky one, and
I'll show that off last, but I wanted to show off this one because Camp has been it's actually probably top 5 animes because of like just I know it's like it's not hyped, there's no action, but like it's about like the journey of like I'm a slice of life fan,
is
okay?
this I guess would you say this is in comparison to how I feel about Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid?
It actually is, yeah. Because it's like the show isn't carried by like yeah, sure, there's funny moments and it's hilarious at times, but the show's really carried by like seeing the characters and how they interact with each other and how they grow either in their own way or with the other characters on there, right? And that's kind of what makes Camp such a good show. But I'm gonna punch myself because I can't remember the artists, and we even looked for her.
Yeah, we were trying to
before
find
the
the
show.
artist.
We spent
yeah,
30 minutes trying to find her.
like I have
I
one of the
will find
friends
her.
too, but we don't have her information yet.
I will find her, and hopefully enough time for Ricky to be able to edit it in. But this is
If anything, most likely we'll probably just put their Instagram tags up on
yeah.
the notes, the details and all that.
But this is Rin from Camp, and some of the things that makes the show really great is the scenery. And she did kind of like a mini collage of all the different scenery, and it doesn't do it justice seeing this through a camera, but some of the lighting, ambient lighting, and just the complete feel that you get looking at this. Like if you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. It's just these are the things that make the show really good, and she captured them all in in these formats. It's Rin solo camping, taking in Mount Fuji and all the from every single part of that's campable. But do you want to can I go ahead and show off my Lucy?
Just a quick one right here, the Miss
Oh, yeah.
Kobayashi Dragon Maid. It's cut off by the camera angle, but that's the one I got from Wusune, that's his name, or I have the card here. But like yeah, Michael saw me right away. That's the first thing I saw. I saw that immediately and I bought it. I was like, yep.
No,
I'm buying it.
he just
yeah, Wusune, that's the name.
like, we were just
I think he
walking
did
down-
I think he did. I don't know if that was a collaboration piece he did, but he was collaborating with someone else too.
Mm.
Or no, he did the Chinese pieces that he was collaborating with. We didn't get those.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's Ricky like didn't hesitate. In fact, I think even before that he was like, okay, I'm done buying.
Yeah. It's like always. It's always I'm done buying. I'm done, and then I see something, dude. Like even at like. Remember like Waifu Expo, and I was like, I'm done buying, and then I went by Otaku Envy's booth, and I bought all the Kobayashi prints.
you
spent
came
$60
back
on
and
that shit.
you're kind of like you had this look of defeat, like
Yeah,
"Damn, I
exactly. That's
lost."
exactly what it was. I couldn't help it, but no. But this piece, I know it's cut off by the camera.
It's a really good
Yeah.
Kobayashi's Dragon Maid piece because
Yeah.
it literally has everyone in the frame and like it's you've got like Fafnir playing video games and all that, so
Yeah, like the majority of the characters are in there just like expressing their their
Natural
traits.
habitat.
Yeah. So it's a very awesome one. But yeah, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid's still one of my favorites. So, yeah, but you showed the Lucid Sky one.
Okay.
Because I bought the 02 one, and then I bought the 02, but I bought that for our nephew Lucas because he likes
Yeah.
02.
So this is by Lucid Sky. Amazing. I know we talked about her, but chatting with her and how cool of a person she was. Getting to talk to her and all that. But she's also like a fantastic artist. This is Ina, another Hololive English member, in which I remember because this is one of the things that caught my eye. Because one thing that Ina is known for is she's actually like a really, really, really talented, not talented, I stay away from that word, very skilled artist herself. And a lot of her,
So she's not talented. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm not one who gets offended by that. If someone says I'm talented, I'm fine with it. But some people don't like that because it implies that, like, the distinction, right?
No, I just thought that I just feel like it's an overused word that everyone like.
Well, it's because like to imply that someone's talented. Sorry, tangent. To imply that someone's talented, that means that they were born with that they didn't have to work for it, right?
Oh.
Skilled means that like at one point you weren't good, or you weren't as good as you wanted to be. You might have been talented, but skills are developed. Talents is kind of like what you're,
natural,
born with and natural given. Yeah. But yeah, so this is Lucid Sky's work. Very like it's very like it was her and it was another artist that we walked by that their art looks like official art. Like it looks like work that studios and companies would want to use for their official artwork. And this is, again, I know camera doesn't do a lot of justice, but like the amount of confidence with colors and line work and composition. I got to talk with Lucid Sky about some of these things and pick her brain on it, and she's like, yeah, it's present. It's not she's not just throwing stuff on the canvas and hoping it works out. It's like you're methodically choosing where everything is and doing it with confidence. And I think that's where she definitely gets a lot of her knack from, because her colors. Her other one is that I got was the Yoimiya one. And
oh yeah, I like that one
so well. But yeah, no, I could literally go on forever about this. This is normally what I'm doing when I'm just walking up and down artist alleys. I'm just checking out people's art. And
same. That's why I have to stay away from it,
people.
because like I end up buying shit that I don't need.
Normally me, but again, being jobless right now, I don't have much of a choice. But it was really cool.
Like you mentioned, like that she had like stuff that looked like promotional art. I wanted to give like honorable mentions to that one piece she did with those two spy girls or whatever. The
from
blonde
Lycris Recoil.
Yes, yeah, because
Yeah.
like that piece that she has looks just like something they would use to promote the show with.
Yeah,
Like I was, because like that's the one that caught my eye the most. Was like, yeah, I was just looking at that. I was like, damn, that looks like. Are you sure you can like, just take that off of like Google search and something and just
Did they hire you to make that?
Yeah. Oh, and then funny story. A while back, I think it was last year at Acon, I bought some shirts from this booth.
Oh, right.
It turns out it's Lucid Sky's art that's on those shirts. I have both the pink and the blue one, and it's. I think about it now. It's so fucking funny, like how upset I got, and they gave me like they gave me the. I think we covered this.
Did we tell that story?
I think we covered this,
man.
but I think we covered this, but I'll bring it up again. Like, so what happened was I bought the shirt. They gave me the wrong size. Came home with it, not realizing it was the wrong size.
I was still there.
And Michael was still there. So I had Michael. I was being a Karen via Michael, and Michael had to bring me a new shirt.
I was literally telling the guy, I'm sorry, man. Like, it's not me. Don't hate me.
Yeah, but whoever that vendor was, man, like it's not my fault. It's yours.
Hey, here's the thing. they corrected it.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And they went above and beyond. They gave you a completely new shirt, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Um,
and then they the one I took was on the house, so I gave that one to Lynn.
yeah.
Because it was
It
the
would
wrong
have been cool.
size.
It would have been cool if you gave it to the person who actually had to go face the guy. But
It was way too small though. I think I don't think it would have fit you.
probably.
It was too small. Like, it fit Lynn like just perfectly. I was like, damn it. But
No, I'm not salty about that. I was more
but
like,
but it was just surprising because I recognized the art. I was like, hey, I have that on a shirt.
yeah, no, because you said because I said that was the one that you sent me back for. And you said no, it was the other one, and sure enough, the other one was on there as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but both of the t-shirt designs.
Yeah,
That was
but now that I've lost weight though, I can fit into the blue one now. Like the pink one is fine. It's the blue one. I think the blue one shrunk. Either it shrunk or it was already pre-shrunk. And yeah, so that one fits me now that I lost weight. So I could wear both shirts now. Fine. What else happened? Let's see. Sunday. So that was pretty much yeah, that was pretty much Sunday. Yeah, Sunday, because we wrapped up a lot of stuff on Sunday just talking to the artist. And then
oh yeah, we didn't. You got to play rock paper scissors with
yeah.
with
Luximity.
yeah.
I can never get her name right, but oh yeah, the freaking Polaroid dropped right here.
She's a cosplay
cosplay.
model, and
Yeah.
it was pretty cool because she had this thing where you can play rock paper scissors, and if you beat her,
You get like
you
a
get-
prize or something.
yeah, you get I think you get like a discount on the poster. But I thought that's, as someone who's looking for ways to like be interactive, like get people interactive with your actual booth, to engage with them and get them to your booth. I think that was pretty creative of her to do that.
Yeah.
And she
I
was
think it was rigged though because she won easily. Okay, I'm just salty that I lost.
she's got skill, man. But she was dressed as a pom pom from Star Rail, which you don't play.
Yeah,
But-
I don't play any of that. I haven't played any games, and I think the last game I played recently was probably Final Fantasy VII Remake, and that was it. I don't think I've touched any games since.
Yeah, it's Star Rails. It's really low effort. It's not nearly, and I say this very generously, it's not nearly as time consuming as Genshin is. Because they wrap the stories flow very well. So if you're looking for one to get into, it's really good. And it's turn-based
dude.
too.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll pass on it because I think me and Bobby we're saving up to try to get Final Fantasy Rebirth, 7 Rebirth on the PS5 since he's got a PS5. So we're gonna wait till February to get that.
It's free. It's free though. So don't fall into the trap. Don't listen to me. It's free. You don't have to pay anything.
Let's see. We were gonna go to the Eric Vale panel, but we skipped out on that because I was in line for Steve Bloom. But I think that was it, dude. Like Sunday, I got the autograph from Naruto. We caught up with the artist one last time. We did one last round to meet up with the artist, and then I think that was pretty much the weekend. That was it.
Yeah, I will say though, I think they did a fantastic job with the floor layout and everything. The way they
it
had
wasn't like
the
overcrowded.
rows,
Yeah.
very spacious. Even the I know this is one of your biggest pet peeves is when there's not enough space in the aisles and you're constantly bumping into people.
Yes.
But no, very spacious, very well organized, and I like how they had the artist alley map organized by row. That actually made sense. Not taking jabs at any of the other shows we've been to, but this one
Called them out. I'm kidding.
Anime Frontier, really, really fantastic job with the whole experience. Like I think all in all, this is again one of our best experiences we've had to date. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Last minute thoughts. The Gundam booth was cool. It was right in the front, right when you walk in.
Can't miss it.
The Crunchyroll table was giving out free stuff. I got a Gojo and Geto card. I pre-ordered this
Oh yeah.
shirt. The only thing I got to say is that I lost that waistband thing. I don't know how I don't know how I lost that. That shit was just gone. So yeah. So I mean, I'm only gonna wear this at conventions. I'm not even gonna like. This is not something I'd wear in public.
You should have just tied it around your head, man.
I know I should have. I should have. Regret it. I had it around my neck, and next thing I know, like it's gone. Holy shit!
I think because we were at Steve Bloom's panel when you realized you lost it, right? Somewhere around there.
No, she was Saito's panel, I think.
Oh, right.
Yeah. No, it was Steve Bloom's panel.
Yeah, it
because
was-
I got
Steve
this on a
Bloom, yeah.
Friday. Yeah, I picked this up
Yeah.
on Friday. Yeah, so yeah, Steve Bloom's panel. It was gone. I was like, screw it. But yeah, that wraps up Anime Frontier 2023, man. Like me and Michael said before, there's not much that's to be said that's bad. Like the whole experience was overall good. Um, I don't think there was any like bad experiences. Like if anything,
No.
there were just some rude attendees, but that's at every convention.
That's gonna be a
Um,
given, yeah.
Yeah, but then other than that, staff was great, security was great. Even the food was pretty good. It wasn't the greatest, but it was all right. The
For con food,
nachos,
it was
yeah,
good.
the nachos hit. I could say this: the nachos hit better than the brisket sandwich. Like the
Yeah,
loaded
yeah.
nachos were better than the brisket sandwich. And then what else? Oh, we took pictures at that thing.
At Free Ren, and they had like these they're like these photo prop backdrops.
Yeah.
There was a Free Ren one and a Spy Family one, which Ricky has some. I think you've already posted some of those pictures, right?
Yeah, it's on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then there were some that we saw that was at Acon last year, like the school desk one, and then that fairy backdrop one. We saw that. What else was there? Oh, there was the Senpai Squad cars all there. Like,
Oh yeah, they had the
We saw
Itachi
that.
cars out there. Yep.
yeah, we saw that for a little bit. We didn't stick around that area too long because it was like way in the back. What else? Any last minute things?
Mm.
We didn't. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because like, I'm too old to be going to like those after parties. So like, that was like, I did not even
I
want to think
mean,
about that.
realistically, like we weren't that, and again, just to go to show how well we were treated. I could have went if we wanted to, but we just kind of like, let's go home.
I was spent, and also we had to drive all the way back to
Yeah.
your place, so it was like back and forth, and traffic's a bitch.
Friday, yeah, it was bad because we got out
Yeah.
like right during rush hour.
Yeah. You missed the exit on Friday, and then Saturday I missed the exit. Yo, I was like, "What the hell, man?"
It's fine.
Aw.
It's just the thing in Texas is like,
You're
we
gonna get
hate-
there, yeah.
We hate when people panic that they miss an exit. It's just fine. You'll find a way. Just keep going.
It was just funny because like Friday you missed the exit, and then Saturday I missed it. I was like, "What the hell, man?"
Well, the thing is, you
It was
missed it because
funny.
I was talking to you.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Yeah, I don't. You got any last words, man? Like anything?
Honestly, just I want to give a big shout out to you because thanks for letting me come along with you. I'm an artist. I'm in no way like press or anything like that. But
Neither am I,
I'm
dude.
able
Like, okay,
Dude,
if anything,
you have a podcast. Shut up.
if anything that was bad at the convention was the fact that I fucked up on my equipment. Like that was it. Like that's the thing I kind of dread is like my equipment was ass. Like the adapters broke that weekend, so I was so pissed.
Well,
and then
it was kind of like it's kind of like interesting to see the dichotomy of like because we were there with other press members too,
Yeah.
other, press teams, seeing the equipment that they have and seeing us, we're like,
yeah, dude, it was
we're
pretty
amateur-
like
we're amateurs.
it was pretty discouraging, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like we saw that one crew with the mic, with the Rode mics, the clip-ons, and the handheld mics, and then shout out to Anime Diet, man, because like that guy was asking some
He's asking
fantastic
really good
questions, man.
yeah.
Like it made me question, like, holy shit, like I'm not even thought provoking like that. I'm so on the surface. Like I just like, do you like cheese? Like these guys are asking like life questions to these actors. Like, and I'm just like, holy crap, dude. Like I'm not scratching the surface at all. I'm
It's
only
just
like,
like you want to ask them. You have an opportunity to ask them more like personal questions that you can get something out of them that they wouldn't typically answer in like a panel setting.
yeah.
And some of them were asking questions, and nothing against them. It's really hard to come up with these good questions, and you had to ask questions. You want to respect their time, so you want to come with questions about them, about the talent.
But I
Some of
think
them
that's
were
what makes it different too. Like, because his press style questions is a lot different from podcasting questions. Because like
Yeah.
when let's say if you have like 30 to 45 minutes to speak with someone, you're engaging them to be comfortable with you to talk. Like I think that's what I'm better at versus
Yeah.
like on the fly, like what are your thoughts on this and that,
No,
and
it's a typical of like yeah, it's typical like who is your favorite character voice? I'm like, come
yeah.
on. Like
Like that's why I try to avoid those questions. But then when people are asking like thought provoking shit, it makes the question I want to ask seem like that kind of question. Like
well,
I don't even want to ask my question no more.
full transparency. Like again, I realize how hard it is to come up with these questions to ask because like you want to ask something that's interesting, but at the same time, it's not easy to come up with these.
And then someone might ask the
So
shit that you have lined up, and it's like, damn, it's like you gotta
yeah,
have backups on backups. Um,
yeah.
and just to touch up on the equipment thing again, I felt so stupid because like it felt like riding a bike, bro. I there was by the time we got to like our third press interview, that's when I realized like why didn't I do this earlier? Like it was just
I
I
mean,
just felt so
you
stupid.
you learn.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm
So
paying I'm paying for it right now editing because I might not even use the audio that's on your phone because I think on your phone like one of the interviews the audio like our voice was on like only one side of the ear, not both. So I'm just gonna
oh
have yeah.
um
So I'm
there
gonna have
there might be a way to split it. Either that or you duplicate it and set one to left and one to right. If you
yeah.
if
That's just
send
too
it
much work.
send
That's
it
just
over to me. I'll do it
that's
for you.
just
Send it over to me.
that's just too much work. No,
Send it over to
I'm what I'm doing is I'm putting captions on the video, so it's because it's only going to be on YouTube. I'm not. I may or may not do it on the audio platforms, but I
Mhm.
I, I think it'll be better on YouTube. So I'm gonna have captions, and I'm raising the volume, so you'll most likely hear us talk. It just
Well,
won't be as clear.
I'm telling you, if you just send me the video once you're done, I will fix it for you. It's not that hard. I'll have it done for you in like an hour or less.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know when I get done with that. But
All right.
um,
See, this is kind of what it's like doing press with Ricky. Is like I'll tell him, hey, just here, let's do this.
dude,
He's like,
this is
"Nah, it's too
exactly
much
what it is. I
work.
don't want to do
It's
it no
too
more,
much work."
man.
I'm
Like,
like, dude, just it
it's
takes more
so
energy
much.
to think about it than to just do it.
It's so much effort, man. This is why, like, don't get me wrong. I don't. I love doing this press stuff, man. But when you're like in the moment, it's just
On
different,
Yeah, and
and it's just,
you have these constant fears that you're battling. So like I
yeah.
get it. Like I'm
And you're on
suggesting
the
something.
clock too, and just a
Um,
lot of pressure, man. I don't know how some of these people keep themselves composed, man. Like I give them props for that. Like I'm not a really composed person. You know how I am. I'm very blunt, and like I say what's on my mind right away. So I got to really work on that too. So, so
it's that
it's hard, man. Like this shit
it,
is hard, dude. Like
it's that Detroit in you, man.
yeah, it's it's just a very difficult thing to handle when it's like when you're on like the clock and it's like you got to get shit done and you're trying to get everything right. I think that's what's hard too. Is like it's like
The
you
pressure's
can't
on. No, I get it.
yeah you
Yeah.
can't afford to fuck up on this kind of stuff and like when you know you're like especially you know how I am. I know when I mess up, and when I mess up, that's it. Like my mind is on that. Like I'm not focusing on anything else. I'm focusing on how do I fix this mess up, so
It's
um
it's
that's
it's it's, it's part of what comes with the skill set.
yeah.
I learned it from back when I used to play in church bands. Is that um you realize that like true skill isn't able to go up there and perform perfectly. It's going up there and performing and understanding that mistakes are going to happen, and how quickly and composed you can be about correcting those mistakes and everything.
Yeah,
So
I gotta work on that. I don't have patience for that or tolerance for that. I'm like going in
it's
like,
a
all right,
tolerant.
it's like I'm
As,
going in and I expect everything to be perfect. And
as
it's
someone who's
never
been
that.
on all of these podcasts and like talk to you about editing and all that, that I would have to wholeheartedly agree. That's one thing that I would encourage you to work on.
It's like, dude, that's like my, if anything, that's like my weakest, the weakest thing I have when it comes to like content creating is tolerance. It's just like, no, it has to be perfect. It's not perfect, and I'm not doing it. You know, it's like one extreme or the other extreme. There's no middle ground. But yeah.
I know. Oh, it's
Oh no,
I
go
keep
ahead.
going, sorry.
Finish your thought. Finish.
No, I was gonna say I know it's because your desire, because you all as a creator you always want it to be perfect. You have this like ideal perfect line that you want it to be, but it's hardly ever gonna live up to that. And so when something goes a little off, you get butthurt a little bit about it. You're just like, but I'll say I know it's because like how much you actually care about doing this. So I will.
Oh yeah, dude. No,
encourage
that's why I'm glad I have you on. Like when we do press stuff, I'm glad that I have you with me because you're one of the few that understand like how difficult this shit is, and like the pressures. Like you said, when the pressure's on, like it's a much different playground. Like when it comes to like we talk about this because we're able to like think back and everything's hindsight. But when we're in the moment, like if you're not doing press, you won't understand like the shit that we're talking about because when you're doing it in person, it's like not only is it time, it's also you're competing with other outlets too, so you can't afford to
Yeah.
mess up because these guys have the same content as you do, but they're gonna put it up in a much different way than you are, and so everyone's got that. And then like it's all about like what can I share at this event, or is there something that I can catch that'll potentially make your channel grow. It's all the shit that you don't want to think about. Like you're thinking about it anyway because it's your platform, it's your brand. How are you gonna grow a network, and how are you gonna expand the content that you're making at these events? And this is the only time to really do it. So no, again, thank you, Michael, for understanding and being a part of this, because this is like what your fourth or fifth con, maybe even more, with me and seeing all this shit.
I stopped counting.
After like almost 2 years now doing this shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like I'm gonna get better. If I do, I told myself that 2024 I'm not doing no more conventions. But again, Frontier may have changed my mind. We'll see how things could turn out. Never, corny, but never say never. But I am planning to buy better microphones next time though. I was gonna get Rode, but then one of our good friends, Andrew, he said that he says to not get Rode. I mean, the quality's good, but you have to get like a separate app for that. He's like, if you just want to plug and play, get the DJI clip-on mics. So I might get that. And so I'm planning to get those by the end of January or around February, just to play around with it and that way I can get a habit of like, okay, I know what to do, versus like what we did at this event where it's like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. But yeah, that pretty much sums up this event. Again, thank you, Anime Frontier. Thank you, Ivy or Evie. Sorry. Thank you, Evie. Thank you, Holland. Thank you to all the guests that we interviewed. Thank you to all the people that we got to meet, all the artists and all that stuff. I'll have the links to the artists' Instagrams, or at least the ones that we talked about, on the show notes. Just keep an eye out for the spoiler for stuff. If like, again, by the time this episode dropped, most of the stuff that I'm talking about will be up. Like episodes 170 to 177 should be up before this one, and then the Anime Frontier panel press interview should be way up before these episodes drop. So if you're listening to this and you have not checked out those episodes or the press stuff, please do. And yeah, then there's also like some special stuff that will be shared as well, which I will not expand on to that. But there are some more content that's coming out, and then I'm planning to. I mean, I've mentioned this already in on social media, and I'm probably this will be mentioned again in like episode 179 with Kellen Goff. But like, Spoiler Force will be continuing to episode 200, and then we'll see where it goes from there. After I want to say after episode 180, from episode 181 to from episode 181 to 200, pretty much the episodes will be released bi-weekly. I think I mentioned this in the episode of Killing Off. If not, then you'll hear it again. And that's what sucks too, is like when I'm recording these, like they're not chronologically in order.
Because
So like
you have to like place them in your episode order.
yeah.
So
So it's gonna be like one's gonna be like back and forth. That's what kind of sucks too, is like when I'm editing, I don't mind. I don't care, but like it's that I just hate the idea that like if someone catches on and like, wait, this doesn't make sense, But yeah, these are all recorded within like the same time frame. So but yeah, you could follow Michael on social media. You can follow him on Instagram, Twitter. Go like and share his stuff. Are you still taking commissions, or is that a closed thing?
I haven't really announced it yet. But
Well, you announced it
will.
on the last time you were on, so but
Did I really?
yeah, but
What was-
that
what
was
was it?
that was the demons
Oh.
the Demon Slayer episode.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a few financial hoops I gotta jump through right now. Being being unemployed right now, that I have to kind of make sure,
Or at least it was
Um,
just, thank God the episode wasn't up yet. But you mentioned
Oh,
it
okay.
during that episode. That's why I don't. My bad on that. I didn't post it up. But it was on the Demon Slayer episode.
Yeah. Yeah. By the time this comes out, I might have already announced it. But I probably will be doing like in windows and like periods of when I'm gonna be open for commissions and when I'm not gonna be. Best way to find out is
Yeah, just follow Michael.
give me a follow on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. I'll post on my stories when I am and when I'm not. I'm working on getting a newsletter out. But yeah, no, that's I want to do commissions. Just I need to make sure that it's gonna, all my finances and everything is gonna work out as smoothly as I want it to. So
All right. So, again, make sure you like, share, subscribe to Spoiler Force. Follow Michael on Instagram. Make sure you guys check out Anime Frontier. Go look at their social media and stuff like that. That way you can get a preview of what their events are like. I cannot say that I will be there for 2024. Hopefully I will be, but then if I do show up at the next event, hopefully get to see some of the listeners there as well. I gotta say, this is probably one of the best anime conventions I've been to in a long time. But yeah, thank you guys, and have a great day. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to give a review and rate Spoiler Force Podcast. If you want to get all Spoiler Force updates or even peeks at behind the scenes, you can join the Spoiler Force Discord community. And if you'd like to show support, give tips, recommendations, sponsorships, or any collaborations, you can email me at rickyvang92@gmail.com.